Hi everyone, today in this tutorial we are going to cover Ecotect software and do an analysis, a sun path analysis or a solar annual sun analysis on a building. So right now we have the Revit software opened in front of us, and there's the building. This building is a building modeled in Revit. It's a sample model which we have opened. So this one's the Revit interface with a sample model of a Revit building. So you can see that this building has quite a number of floors, and it's an educational or an office building. So before we import this into our Ecotect program, we have to check on a certain aspects. So on the right hand side on the top, click on room and area, click on area and volume computations, and check that under volume computations we have ticked on the areas and volumes, and under room and area computation make sure that we have ticked at the wall at the center. This becomes quite necessary because it's quite important that all the rooms in this building, all the walls and the rooms, all the volumes, they do not overlap each other, because it becomes easier for us to do analysis on a building which has walls that do not overlap each other. So that's why we make sure that the volume computations are right before we export the file. So click on OK. Go to File, and we can export it. The file is ready to export. So export the building in a GVXML format, because that's the format we would want to open up in the Ecotect software. So we have the export settings here. In the export settings, we have to make sure that the location of this building is set right. So this we have right here we have the building model which would be exported. Next to location, click on location, and on the right hand side of location, click on the small box, and here you can see the location of the building. You can set the location. So according to the map, our building is located in Melbourne. I've ticked on use daylight savings time, so we have the right time. We get the right analysis. Click on OK, and we could also change the export complexity by clicking it and changing how you would want it. So for today we're going to go with simple with shading devices, and finally click on next. So now we have the box, the window that helps us to save our file. So I'm going to save our file as this, as project 2 in the desktop, so it becomes easy for us to access it. So I'm saving it. It might take a few seconds to save the file because we have 2 programs opened up. And while we're waiting for it, I would like to tell you that I've already opened up the Ecotect program, the Ecotect software, so it becomes quite easy for us to go to skip from this to that. All right. So we have successfully exported the file as the XML format. Now let's open up the Ecotect analysis. So this interface, it's a totally different interface from Revit. This is the Autodesk Ecotect Analysis 2001 interface. This is the trial version which I'm using right now. That's why it's written a 30-day trial version. And so let's import our file. So I'm going to File, Import, Model Analysis Data. So I've put our file in the desktop. So that's saved as project 2. So this one's a file. So click on the file and click on Open. Yep. So we have the file being scanned for materials. So this is the box that opens up after we import the file. So here on the right hand side we have the materials or the elements box. This has each and every wall the flow, the wall, the basic walls, all the materials, or the compound walls or the curtain walls, all the materials that we have used in the Revit software has been listed here, and it shows that all these will be imported. So whatever is listed here will be imported into our Ecotect file as well. So just click on open as new and save changes. Yep, so if they ask you to save changes, just click on yes and save it. Save it in Ecotect analysis. I'm going to save it as 1, 2, 3 for now. Yep. And they're converting the file into the format, Ecotect format, to save it. So that might just take a few seconds more. So while we're waiting, let's get acquainted with the Ecotech analysis interface, which is right in front of us. It's quite interesting. It was very interesting for me to know that we can analyze a building. We can do a solar analysis, we can do a thermal analysis, we can do all sorts of study on a building. You know, just have to give the weather conditions and the climate of the area. We can kick off with analyzing our building and studying it a better way. So here we have our building right here. So we have on the left hand side, let's get acquainted with this software, the Ecotect. We have a lot of options. So if this one's the project, so it has all the descriptions about the project. We have the 3D editor. So zoom out a bit. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay. This one's a 3D editor. It has all sorts of lines going along. This one's the visualize. So here we can clearly visualize our building. And this one's the analysis, and here we have the reports. That's the help. So let's stick with visualize, and here what we would like to do is let's go into tools, and first we would like to set the weather of the place, so the climate of the space. So go to tools and run the weather tool. So it's a trial version. It keeps popping up the screen because it's a trial version. So just keep going, click on try. Yes, so here we have the weather tool opened up, and here again I'm selecting Australia, Melbourne, Victoria. So we have all the information about weather in Melbourne opened up in front of us. We have the wind, we have the heating and cooling, we have the climate, and this is all according to the location of the building. So it's accurate, precise information. We also have the solar positions on the left hand side. You can see all the different analysis. We have the solar stereographic diagrams, we have the psychometric analysis, the wind analysis, we have the hourly data, weekly data, and we also have the monthly data. So all the important information we need about weather is already being uploaded in the file. So we're ready to start off. Now let's put on some shadows for the building. So on the right hand side we can see all these small tiny icons. So click on the sun icon for now and turn on the shadows. Just click on display shadows. We have the shadows now. Now if you click on daily sun path, if you tick on that, there, bingo, there we have the sun path. We have the sun path diagram, so we can just move the sun along the daily axis. So that will be like for different times of the day. So it would be for early morning, and then we go to noon, and then we could rotate it to have early afternoon and then early evening. So that's how we change. So this helps us do a shadow study for different times of the day. So this is quite interesting, and if we can just rotate it. So to rotate it, on the right hand side, we have the rotate tool, and we can just rotate our building to study the shadows from different angles. Yeah. All right. So now we have the daily sun path. Our next step would be to activate the annual sun path. So the annual sun path is again next to daily sun path below it. On the right hand side, so click on annual sun path and you have the annual sun path diagram in front of you. So again, to move the sun along the annual sun path along the different months of the year, click on shift. Clicking down on shift, you can move the sun along the annual sun path, and again you get all the different kinds of shadows. All the different kinds of shadows for the building all throughout the year. So that's the end of this tutorial. It's just a simple tutorial showing the sun path daily and annually. It also shows how you can export a Revit file into the Ecotect and do a simple basic shadow analysis. Hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you.